One of the most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly the trafficking of children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is
I must appease him with the gift of a man. Come to me! I must take you to the northwest! No, take him! No! Don't eat me! I'm sure that you will be fine.
Jeffrey Epstein purchased 330 gallons of sulfuric acid in 2018. Well, he damn well wasn't cleaning his pool. Sulfuric acid is a highly corrosive chemical that can be used to melt bone and destroy biological.
More emails about torture, and these coded conversations still have a very clear topic that torture was big. It was a big driver for them, and these were sick people doing very, very sick things.
They dismembered them. They cut up their intestines, and they took the feces out, and they ate it. There's a 16-year-old girl. She had some diary entries written in code about her experiences being and impregnated by Epstein. They forced her to carry that baby to term, and they let her keep the baby for a few minutes. Then they came in, took the baby away, ripped it away from this, and they did who knows.
So it turns out Mel Gibson was right all along.
Disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is
Online, already dozens of clips and posts floating around where stars like Chrissy Teigen and Jimmy Fallon appear to joke or hint about dark appetites and disturbing themes. Meanwhile, the public narrative for years painted whistleblowers such as Mel Gibson as the villains, while the same spotlight kept praising the very figures critics were questioning. Now, according to ongoing online claims, his longtime associate Terrence has reportedly warned him to stay alert and protect himself, with rumors suggesting powerful circles are unhappy and may be trying to pressure or silence him again. People say attempts were made before to shut down his career, but they didn't stick. Now, with renewed attention around the so-called Jeffrey Epstein document releases, supporters argue that many of Gibson's past warnings are being re-examined, and chatter online says that could place him back under risk. Conversations about secretive elite rituals and hidden industry behavior have circulated for decades, and Gibson has repeatedly claimed there are ugly truths buried beneath Hollywood's polished image. Back in 2018, he reportedly put serious money behind executive producing the film Sound of Freedom, a thriller centered on underground exploitation networks tied to influential figures. The story unfolds in Honduras, following a struggling father named Roberto Aguilar who is persuaded by a former beauty queen, Giselle, to allow his children, Miguel and Rocio, to join a paid modeling shoot. For a family desperate for income, the offer sounds like a miracle. He agrees, believing it's a safe opportunity. But later, the children are trafficked through a fake talent pipeline with promises of modeling contracts used as bait, a tactic critics say has shown up in multiple real-world allegations over the years. The film highlights how large, cross-border networks can operate in the shadows, moving victims through layered systems. It performed strongly in theaters and sparked heated debate. Gibson has said the motivation behind backing the project wasn't profit but awareness, claiming he had encountered multiple survivors over time and wanted the public to confront what might be happening behind closed doors. He also stated that traditional studios were hesitant to finance the project, which is why he stepped in himself to help get it made.
Disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness.
A lot of viewers say that when the film first dropped, many people completely missed the deeper warning layered inside the story. Even now, despite renewed attention around the documents tied to Jeffrey Epstein, a large portion of the public still doesn't connect the dots or chooses not to look too closely. Supporters of Mel Gibson argue that for years he tried to point toward hidden abuse networks and elite misconduct, and only now are some of those claims being re-examined. Online discussions claim Epstein made statements suggesting powerful figures were involved in disturbing behavior similar to what Gibson warned about through his projects and interviews. According to widely circulated interpretations of the released files, investigators noted unusual chemical purchases, including hundreds of gallons of corrosive substances, reportedly ordered around the same period legal pressure increased on him. Commentators call that timing suspicious and describe it as possible evidence of a coordinated cleanup, though officials have not confirmed those extreme conclusions. Some leaked email excerpts discussed online are described as deeply disturbing, with critics saying they show twisted fantasies and abusive intent, claims that continue to be debated and disputed across media channels. Circling back to controversy surrounding Chrissy Teigen, old social posts resurfaced, where she made shocking and highly inappropriate jokes that triggered massive backlash. Several of those tweets referenced taboo themes and dark humor that many readers found unacceptable. One viral example quoted her reacting to a reality show involving children and saying the comments were so wrong they sounded criminal. At the time, some followers brushed it off as edgy comedy. Others saw it as a red flag. The outrage eventually pushed her to delete thousands of tweets and issue public apologies. Another layer to the debate involves the repeated celebrity use of the word pizza in leaked conversations and messages. Initially, people assumed it meant exactly what it sounds like, regular food from places like Domino's, nothing more. But conspiracy communities argued the term was coded language tied to exploitation rings. That belief exploded during the 2016 election cycle with the rise of the so-called Pizzagate theory, which accused political and cultural elites of being part of secret abuse circles. The claims were officially denied and widely debunked, including by figures such as Hillary Clinton, yet online groups continue to revisit the theory and insist there was hidden truth behind it. Bringing it back to Gibson, an older interview clip of his recently resurfaced and went viral again, sparking intense reactions because he spoke bluntly about alleged underground corruption and exploitation. Viewers said the footage was unsettling, unexpected, and far more direct than most celebrity interviews, which is exactly why it's spreading so fast again and pulling the controversy back into the spotlight.
I was in my mid-20s the first time I really came over here. You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand. Right. And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town. Surely that couldn't be, because, and then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? Mm-hmm. And then you find out later on the track that you are exactly on track with a lot of this stuff. Not specifically on track, but that you could, that some of your worst nightmares were real at the time, and you think, it does rip your life to pieces.
Does it?
If you'll let it.
Yeah.
These little heathens with no soul downstairs with horns on their head with a battering ram trying to, like, walls in.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take very long. It's cascading on you all the time. You can't get away from certain attitudes, from certain modes of behavior that this town and the industry dictate. No matter how strong you are, you are going to be affected by this place. And I think it takes that kind of cockroach resilience. You can't get mad. You can't get mad. You can't let it get you, because you have to make a deal with everyone else, and it's almost unspoken that you are going to be f***ed over at some point.
I mean, as a matter of interest, do you think it's easier because you're an outsider who came in?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because it was glaring to me because I was an outsider who came.
Unfortunately for Mel, the powerful people he openly challenged reportedly aren't happy. Speculation is now circulating that after the recent backlash, he may have quietly traveled or kept a low profile for his safety. There's no official confirmation, but online chatter suggests the pressure is building again. Interestingly, Terrence Howard is also reportedly urging him to stay careful. Many people don't realize that Terrence and Mel have been very close. Terrence has said multiple times that Mel was one of the people who helped him through a tough phase in his life and guided him back on track. Their friendship isn't just a normal Hollywood connection, it's a deep personal bond. Mel isn't the only one speaking out. Terrence has also made bold claims about Hollywood elites. In interviews, he alleged that certain agendas in the industry deliberately try to soften or reshape men's, especially black men's, masculinity on screen. These statements sparked huge debate. Some agreed, some rejected it outright. But the controversy only intensified.
Lose your man card. That's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
According to Terrence, Hollywood often pressures black men into these humiliating exchanges just for a shot at success, sometimes even making them wear dresses to emasculate and embarrass them. In an interview with Revolt TV promoting his film The System, he explained that the industry views black men as threats, which is why they keep trying to diminish their power. With this system, most men are made to appear weak or overly effeminate, while white men are allowed to display strength. Terrence added, "I don't want to remove a few chromosomes just to fit someone else's story. Stories should expand to let men be men while still appreciating a woman's beauty."
You ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f*** you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you.
One viewer said, Mel's career didn't end. He just chose not to play along with a demon-controlled industry. Another commented, funny how South Park painted Mel Gibson as a psycho, when really it was the producers who were the crazy ones. But now I want to hear from you. What's your take on Mel being targeted for speaking the truth? Do you think this is exactly why the industry has been trying to ruin him for years? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other explosive video.